Agree that information is one of the most powerful elements in the world, phenomenon or whatever you want to call it. And too often, many of us live our lives and more depressed and not as profitable in a lot of negative situations because we don't have the information. And part of the mission of a call to action is to impart information into the community in an effort to make our lives better. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
And I'm your host, Alex Habersham. And speaking of information, something that has been around in our community and has played a major role in the success of the country and in the income and the livelihood of people for more than 60 years. And I'll get my guests to tell me how many, if they know, is Social Security. And Social Security plays a major role in our life, and it makes a significant difference in many of our lives. So today I have with me Ms. Shalana Cobb and Ms. Charlotte Bryant, who are a part of the local Social Security office, who are going to bring us some special information about one of the special projects of Social Security. And I'm just so happy to have both of them on the show today because it helps to support our mission of keeping the community informed. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about myself, but many of us know that, people are living longer, we got people 70 and 72, saying welcome to Walmart, and we got people who are working longer. And subsequently, we have more people who have been affected, in a positive manner by Social Security. So I thought it would not be robbery for us to bring you this information about this special program with the Social Security Administration. And so, again, we have Ms. Shalana Cobb, Ms. Charlotte Bryant. How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm outstanding. So who wants to talk first? I know that I can see the excitement in your voices, in your faces, in your dress, in your demeanor, and in everything else as it relates to being pleased to be able to provide the community with this information. So give your title first, just a little about yourself, and then talk some about the program. And when Ms. Shalana speaks, she will do the same thing.
Okay. Like Mr. Habersham said, I'm Charlotte Bryant. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. I've actually been with the Social Security Administration 18 years this August. I started off as a co-op student, and then I was promoted once I graduated from school as a Title II claims representative. Then I was a technical expert. Now I'm an operations supervisor. I want to tell you a little bit about our office. We're located at 3530 Riverside Drive here in Macon. We service 7 counties: Bibb, Crawford, Jasper, Jones, Monroe, Twiggs, and Wilkerson. We have 31 employees, 4 of which are management. We have 9 service reps, 8 Title II claims representatives, 9 Title 16 claims representatives, and 1 field office administrator.
Right.
We're the main branch. We have 3 branches, one in Dublin, Milledgeville, and Warner Robins.
That's good. Very good. I'm so interested, from the historical perspective. That's good. So just tell a little bit about yourself.
My name is Shalana Cobb. I am a Title 16 claims representative in the Macon office. I actually started in Las Vegas, Nevada in 2009. And I moved back here. I'm actually from Warner Robins, born and raised. There's new technology in the media, so we want to make sure that we're apt and able to help and serve the public.
Okay, now you say my Social Security. So does that mean that, does it relate to personalization? So
Right.
Does that mean that, and individualism? So if in fact a person is involved in, affected by, a member of, or being paid by Social Security, then the objective is for the public to understand that the research can be garnered from an individual perspective rather than what were the other means of contacting Social Security prior to the launching of my Social Security?
Well, in terms of that, we had individuals come into the office regarding benefit verification, estimates, filing for benefits, retirement benefits, disability benefits. Now all that can be done online
Wow.
at mysocialsecurity.gov.
Right, right.
So they can get a benefit verification letter of their income, which is like an income statement. They can also file online for retirement and disability, as well as get their benefit statement. So if they're not quite retirement age, they can get the amount at age 62 or 66.
Oh, great. What other areas, a lot of times when people talk about Social Security, they think necessarily about elderly people. But I mean, Social Security plays a role in our community other than retirement assistance. Is that correct?
Well, in Macon, we actually service the public and we try to assist them with the needs that they have. Social Security is not for ages. It's for disability. You can be over 18. We can help you file a claim. Even children can receive benefits, but we want to make sure that you know what's out there so we can help you in your everyday needs.
Okay. Now, how about disability? I know a lot of people like to talk about disability. And of course, if in fact one wants to file, this applies only to people who are already recipients of Social Security. Does it apply also to people who want to, say, apply for disability or retirement benefits or what have you?
Well, the My Social Security is geared towards those that receive benefits and those that don't receive benefits. We have two programs. We have Social Security Disability, that's the one that they pay into. And then we have SSI, which stands for Supplemental Security Income, which is based on income and resources. Now, as of today, those individuals cannot file online. Only if you have paid into Social Security can you file for Social Security Disability.
That means you cannot get, now SSI, I'm trying to be politically correct in explaining what SSI is. But SSI is designed for people who in fact don't have the history and other resources and have not paid anything into the system. But because of some life circumstance, if you please, then the government has a program that can assist them.
Exactly.
You might want to explain that a little bit.
Well,
And maybe give an example.
okay, say for instance, a low birth weight child, a child that was born under a certain weight, and we call them low birth weight, 2 pounds and 10 ounces. Then the parent can file for benefits for them. If we have an individual that has never worked a day in their life, then they also can apply for SSI, Supplemental Security Income. We also take into consideration any income and resources that's in the household. Those under age 18 can file for SSI DC, which is Supplemental Security Income for Disabled Child.
Okay.
So anybody that has not worked and paid into Social Security, SSI is the program for them. Now, on that note, we don't make the medical decisions.
Right.
We just do the legwork, so to speak.
But they cannot do it on my Social Security.
No, sir. No, sir, they cannot.
So what we're talking about today, as it relates to my Social Security, does not include SSI.
No, sir, it does not.
Okay. So how do you expect it to help? I mean, what's the rationale behind, having it, individuals capable of going to the website to determine, whether they should use it?
From the beginning, they're able to see how much they have paid in the system. What are their earnings on there? There are times when they say, I have filed with the IRS or I have filed my taxes. We're not able to see them on their statement. So we can go ahead and correct that and add what they actually earn, and that might help them to be able to be eligible for Social Security Disability Insurance. As far as the SSI program, yes, they're not able to apply online, but everybody is able to apply for the disability report as far as what's your medical condition, who are your doctors, what has been your work history, and that application can already be submitted. And you can always make an appointment, or you can come into the office and we can help you schedule an appointment for the SSI application.
Okay, let me ask you a question. This is a call to action.
Call to action.
And I'm your host, Alex Haversham, interviewing Ms. Cobb and Ms. Bryant. with the Social Security Administration talking about my Social Security. And really, Social Security, in one way or another, is applicable to everybody because it's a national system and it has played a major role. And I know that we don't have time to go into the history of it, but I'm sure that you can research the history of Social Security online and find out why it was established and what have you. But, let's assume that, a lot of people are still kind of confused as it relates to at what age they should get it or could get it, or, how much is available. And I'm thinking, Ms. Cobb, that you were saying that this my Social Security system helps to address that. So, but I got a question for you because I know somebody else is thinking this. Suppose I'm not yet of retirement age, is there information on my Social Security about me? Let's say let's give my true age. Let's say 50. Let's say I'm 50 years old and want to find out. I don't know why people are grinning on that one. Come on, Miss Brian, don't you go there. And want to find out, some information on Social Security. Then what? Can I go there at 50 years old and input my Social Security number? So is it designed for everybody? Is everybody's Social Security number in it?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Wow, that is phenomenal. So it's not necessarily age specific.
No, sir.
Yeah.
As long as you're over age 18.
As long as you're 18, you can see how much money you paid in and project what your benefit will be and things. That is phenomenal. And I'm sure that's a viable asset to our community. Okay, now, let's talk about how to access my Social Security.
Okay, you can go to www.socialsecurity.gov. On the left side of the website, it says create my account, and it takes about 10 minutes. You go through the questions as far as your credit report. They'll ask as Experian, and they'll ask you, who have you been with for as your mortgage company, or where was your last address. Then once you put in that information, it should verify. You have your name, your date of birth, your address is where you live, your telephone number. And they also have an extra security. So if your phone is able to receive text message, but it's at charge of your carrier, you can receive extra security. So when you log in, you'll say, hey, this is your code, this is how you log in, and then you will know if somebody's in your account or if it's just you accessing your record.
Right. And what is the phone number? Is there a phone number? Because I know one time that, people had to call, what they call telemarketing,
Teleservice center?
Teleservice center.
We have two numbers.
You got two numbers. Go ahead.
The local number to the office on Riverside is 888-833-6155. The national 1-800 number is 1-800-772-1213.
So now they can either access, my Social Security by going to
Socialsecurity.gov.
socialsecurity.gov, and along with there being information about my Social Security, is there other information on that site also?
There's information about if you're a representative payee, maybe you're managing somebody else's benefits, you can fill out the payee accounting form. If you're a payee, you can assist the person that you're representing and help them fill out their own Social Security account. There's SSI Spotlight, where it tells you about income and resources and how to help them, making sure they're reporting. Online business services like E-Verify. There's a lot of the things that are missing out there on the website that you can actually, help yourself in what you need.
Well, let me congratulate the U.S. Social Security Department for initiating this program and sending such knowledgeable young ladies to assist me and impart this important information to the community. Thanks for what you do. There is a law in and of communication that says work on me first and us second. Work on me first and us second. And, after having given that some thought for a long time, I submit that may be one of the problems that's causing so much friction and divorces and conflict in our community, in our families, and in our country? Well, one of the mainstays since the beginning, since Columbus came in our country, is marriage. And I think that we all know and look at the statistics and realize that the percentage of divorces in our country is beginning to outweigh and outnumber the number of marriages. So I'm pleased today to be able to have a marriage and family counselor as a part of this show that's going to help to give us some good advice on marriage and what to do maybe and what not to do and what to look for and what not to look for and things of that nature. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
And I'm your host, Alex Habersham. I'm really, really pleased to be able to bring to you, and let me say this very quickly. I'm humbled by the kind of impact it seems that we're having on this community, because we're getting more and more important disciplines and elements of the community inquiring to us and asking us to use a call to action as a vehicle to impart information to the community. And the person that's using this vehicle today is none other than Dr. Darren Moore. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Let's begin by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Once again, my name is Dr. Darren D. Moore, and I am originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I completed my bachelor's degree there in African American Studies, relocated to Valdosta, Georgia, where I completed my master's degree in marriage and family therapy. And then I relocated to Blacksburg, Virginia, where I completed my doctorate degree in marriage and family therapy.
You're going to make me get up now. You got to stop now. All these degrees, you're going to make me go ahead. I'm kidding.
So after finishing my PhD, I relocated back to Georgia. I did a little teaching at Valdosta State University until my current position. I'm at Mercer University, so I'm an assistant professor in the Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences Department, and I teach in the master's program in marriage and family therapy.
Okay. Now talk a little bit about marriage and what you mean. Well, marriage and family therapy. It's my understanding that a lot of people take the position that can't no therapy help me, particularly people who are married. And it's my understanding that particularly males tend to shy away from therapy. So tell us a little bit about what it is, what it does, what it's intended to do, and the advantages of subjecting ourselves. I hate that word subjecting because that's kind of negative. Participating, in therapy.
Okay, well, first of all, I think there are a lot of misconceptions about what marriage and family therapy is and who it's for. Number one, marriage and family therapy is a process where a couple or a family or an individual can meet with a person that's objective to assist them in addressing pretty much any and all issues within their relationship. And so it could be, how do we improve our relationship between a husband and wife? How do we improve our relationships between a mother and a child? We also work in the areas of other mental health, such as substance abuse, such as working with children with disabilities, such as a lot of other aspects. And so I think a lot of times when people hear the term marriage and family therapy, they think that we only work with couples or we only work with families, but we work with individuals, couples, and families, and we're able to assist them in addressing any issues that may be present in their relationship.
Now let's talk about marriage.
Okay. Well, from my perspective, and this is based on the clinical work that I've done here at Mercer, I do work with individuals, couples, and families at Mercer Medicine, which is a private practice, as well as I assist with supervising students in the Mercer Family Therapy Clinic, which is another clinic that offers counseling at a reduced scale or a sliding scale. But in terms of the issues within couples, from my perspective, a lot of it is around lack of understanding, lack of an awareness of who you are as an individual first, and then who your partner is. And so I think what happens is a lot of people get in relationships, and they get in relationships before they're ready, and they're not really aware of what's going on. And so they haven't taken the time to, number one, get to know themselves, and then number two, get to know their partners, so that they can really make a fair assessment in regards to if this person is someone I should marry. And so when I work with couples, a lot of times, some of the things that I see, I always wonder, well, did you not have that conversation before? Or what happened, what happened with that? And so I think that a lot of people get involved very quickly. And once they get married, it's almost too late. And so I think that's one of the main trends. It's just around a lack of really having a deep discussion with their partner.
Would it behoove a couple to go to therapy, because oftentimes it seems like it has a negative connotation maybe, but do you recommend or suggest that, along with the engagement ring, that they should have an appointment, to talk to a therapist?
I absolutely recommend it. I think that it's something that could assist with decreasing the divorce rate. Having premarital therapy can provide a platform for you to really get to know your spouse, to find out what are the things that you like about them and what are the things that you don't really like so much. And then what are we going to do in the event that we have conflict? So how are we going to deal with our problems and our concerns so that I don't feel like I'm neglected in this relationship, like I feel like my feelings are not taken into consideration, which could contribute to other things happening outside of the marriage. I think there is a stigma to this idea of going to ask for help. And we really have to push past that because, as you mentioned, a lot of times people will suffer in silence and they won't ask for help. And then they will ultimately stay and maintain a system of depression, suicidal ideation, and eventually perhaps suicide. I think we have to, it takes a community to put the message out there that mental health treatment is okay. That it is okay to say, hey, I have a problem. And you know what? I am willing, I am courageous enough to go and ask for help. And it's so interesting because I think that people think of asking for help as a sign of weakness.
Right.
But if you really think about it, some of the, I was reading in some article, some of the CEOs of the top Fortune 500 companies, they talk about what set them aside, and they talked about how it's really their ability to say, you know what, I need some help with this. Maybe I'm not an expert in this area, so I'm going to ask someone else to assist me with that. And so asking for help is okay, and it's something that we need to really stress in our community.
Okay, you talked about these clinics. Now, how should one seek help? And and you talked about a couple of clinics and the students and things of that nature at Mercer. But talk about it from an economic perspective too. Is there a sliding scale? Because oftentimes it seems like there's maybe not. I started to say there's a direct relation between income and the lack of therapy and assistance, but it may not be because there may be some well-to-do people who still suffer from that stigma. Well, I don't need therapy or whatever. But talk about the resources that are available to individuals and how they can get to them. Individuals who may need, and that's all of us. And then I don't want to take up all your time. But I read somewhere that 75% of people need some kind of psychological or psychiatric help.
Absolutely.
You agree to that?
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that, including people that are in leadership roles, including pastors of churches, including medical doctors themselves, including teachers, professionals. I think that's another piece of it that we always think, oh, it's those people over there that are struggling with problems. We all, as you mentioned, we all can utilize that assistance. And so in terms of the aspect of socioeconomic status, I do think that is a relevant topic, specifically as we think about all the changes that have happened within the healthcare system and within the insurance industry. And so here in the Macon area specifically, we have, affiliated with Mercer, we have two different clinics. So the first clinic is, and I'll talk about kind of the socioeconomic status aspect. So the first clinic, which is Mercer Medicine, which is a private practice where all the faculty members see patients, including myself. And so I work with individuals, couples, and families, as well as all of my colleagues. We also have other medical specialties. And so that is a clinic that takes insurance. So people who have insurance, they can come and receive services that way. So that's, so I work with professionals, and if anyone was interested in seeing me, they could contact me directly, and I would get them in contact with our scheduling clerk. On the other side, I assist with supervising students in our program that operate a clinic that services people who don't have insurance. So individuals that don't have insurance, as well as individuals that are willing to, that have insurance that don't want to utilize their insurance, that can pay for it. At Mercer Family Therapy Program, it is based on a sliding scale. And so sometimes clients may come and they may pay $1, they may pay $2 a session, they may pay $5, it's all based on income. And so to say that there are no mental health services available in Macon, it's not true.
That's not true.
And so and there's lots of other agencies in the community, but in terms of affiliated with Mercer, there is the Mercer Family Therapy Clinic, which is the student-run clinic, as well as Mercer Medicine, which is where I do direct practice.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think it would be greatly beneficial to the community. It is greatly beneficial to just have the knowledge, you know. So let's give us, before we get out of here, the website, the address, and the phone number.
Okay. Well, let me give you the address, because that's most pertinent. We are at 655 First Street, Macon, Georgia. That's 31201. And I don't know our telephone number by heart. And I can tell you, if you want to get in touch with me directly, I can put you in touch with our.
Well, we'll let you
clinic.
get 10,000 calls. Go ahead.
Well, you can get in touch with me. My office number, my direct office number is 478-301-4078. But you can also contact me via my website, which is www.drdarrendeanmoore or moore_dd@mercer.edu.
All right. Thank you for this. Is a call to action.
A call to action.
And I hope that we've helped people psychologically. Marriage and family therapist at Mercer University. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.